There's that time period in between, like, yes, I was a girl and now I am a man, and what am I in between that, right? That even was confusing for me.
Born one gender but living as the other. For many in the transgender community, living as the person they feel they were always meant to be comes with many challenges and often backlash as well. This Pride Month, Fox 17 is highlighting some of the unique stories of those in the LGBTQ+ community. Tonight, Fox 17's Janice Allen is sitting down one-on-one with a transgender man to learn more about his transition and what he wants others to know about the trans community.
It is a journey that has been years in the making, with plenty of hurdles to overcome. Now Jay Morgan is sharing his story so that more people can have understanding and so that others aren't afraid to be their true selves.
I feel confident. I feel really good about where I'm going and where I'm at, and that's taken some time to make peace with and to understand that it's okay to be where I'm at now.
These days, 26-year-old Jay Morgan is proudly living as a man after being born as Jasmine.
It was a lot deeper than just being uncomfortable. It was, it was an identity thing.
We first met Jay in 2015, just a few months into his transition. Then 20, he had recently started hormone therapy, shots of testosterone he'll need to stay on the rest of his life.
When I first started my shots, I got these little vials. These little tiny ones right here that has 1 milliliter.
For Jay, it was a long time coming after years of feeling he'd been born in the wrong body.
I always felt that, like, I was a tomboy. That's what they always quoted me as, was a tomboy. But it would always felt much deeper, and I couldn't really explain it. I didn't know what being trans was. I didn't know that it was even possible, but I knew that something needed to change within me in order for me to be happy.
6 years later,
it's been a whirlwind.
Jay has undergone top surgery, reconstructing his chest, and legally changed his name.
I have the gender marker M on my license now, which is great because now people don't look at me weird,
Although his family and friends have largely been supportive from the beginning, there have been many challenges along the way. From dating,
I've had some insecurities about myself around it because I'm like, okay, what does a woman want?
To even determining which bathroom to use at work.
That was a thing that I was like, I had to talk to HR about that. Thankfully, at the time, I had a good HR person that I could go to.
And maybe the biggest challenge, truly coming to terms with who Jay is.
I think a lot of the transition is a mental battle. It's an internal battle, right? Trying to figure out yourself and where you fit in the world and, who really is supporting you. When it comes to someone that is transitioning, unconditional love is the best thing that you can show a person.
It may have taken 2 decades, but Jay is happy to be living as the most authentic version of himself.
When the evening shadows and the stars appear.
He's now working on a singing career and has big dreams ahead.
I do think that if I were to talk to my 14-year-old self, that person would be proud of who I am today. And I think that's the symbol of growth that I've wanted, this whole time. I think my message for people is just understand that trans people are just human beings, just trying to figure out what's best for them, and that we're all different. We all have different stories, and I think being able to accept trans people and being able to try to understand, right, starts with listening to their stories, listening to our stories.
And you can find more of Jay's story right now on our website and mobile app. In the studio, I'm Janice Allen, Fox 17 News.